Okay, so if you're a beekeeper, you know that timing is pretty much everything. And, one of the most crucial moments of the whole year is knowing exactly when that nectar flow has stopped. If you get it right, well, you're looking at a fantastic harvest and a super healthy colony ready for winter. But if you get it wrong, things can go sideways. So let's break it down and learn how to read the signs your bees and the landscape are sending you. The big nectar party is winding down, but are you seeing the signals? The thing is, your colony and the world around it are communicating with you loud and clear. Let's get you fluent in their language so you can make your move at the perfect time. All right, let's dive right in. We're going to start with the easiest clues of all, the ones you can spot just by taking a little walk around without even cracking open a hive. So your first job is to just play detective in the local landscape, which is basically your bee's pantry, right? When you start noticing that about 80%, a huge number, of the blossoms in the fields nearby have withered up and gone brown, you can be pretty darn sure the main nectar source is officially closed for business.
And this really gets to the heart of the issue for your bees. It's not just that things are slowing down a bit. It's that their main food source has, for all intents and purposes, just vanished. The tap has been turned off. No more fresh nectar is coming in. Okay, so now let's wander over to the hive entrance. We're going to see how this big change out in the fields directly impacts what the bees themselves are doing. The colony's collective behavior is, well, it's like a fantastic barometer for what's really happening. And you're going to notice a huge shift in the energy right at the front door. I mean, gone is that frantic, buzzing highway of bees coming and going that you see at the peak of the season. It gets replaced by this much calmer, almost lazy vibe right at the hive entrance. You'll spot it right away. There's just less going on. Instead of that constant stream of determined foragers heading out, you'll start to see these little groups of bees just kind of hanging out, clustering on the landing board. With no nectar to collect, they don't really have a mission to fly. So the signs on the outside are really strong hints, for sure. But to be absolutely 100% certain the nectar flow is over, we've got to pop the lid and look inside the hive. The clues you'll find in there, they're undeniable. So on your next inspection, this is basically your checklist. First, find the queen. With no nectar coming in to fill the cells, she'll see that empty space and start laying eggs in them. Next, look at the comb. The bees will totally stop building that beautiful fresh white wax. And finally, you might even spot them starting to uncap their own honey stores. It's a big shift from saving mode to eating mode. And here's a brilliant little trick, a simple physical test. Carefully take out a frame with uncapped stores and just give it a good, firm shake over the top of the hive. If you see a shower of thin, watery liquid fly out, that's fresh nectar. The flow is still on. But if all you see are a few thick, sticky drops of honey, that confirms it. They're already working with their stored honey, not fresh stuff. Now, let's say the signs are still a little confusing. Maybe you've got a huge foraging area that's tough to check out completely. Well, there's one super simple experiment you can run that'll give you a final, clear-as-day answer. It's called the empty frame test, and it is just wonderfully simple. All you do is put a frame with just foundation or maybe some empty drawn comb right into the hive. And then you wait a few days. You're basically asking them a direct question. Hey guys, is there anything coming in that's worth storing? And the answer they give you is unmistakable. See, if there's still nectar coming in, their instinct to store it is so powerful, they will immediately start building out that comb. But if they completely ignore that empty real estate you just gave them, that's it. That is your definitive sign. No new nectar coming in means no reason to build new storage. Simple as that. So you've done your homework. You've read the signs from the fields, you've watched the hive entrance, you've looked at the frames inside, you've confirmed the flow is over. All of this knowledge, it all points to one of the most exciting and important jobs of the year, deciding when it's time to harvest that liquid gold. But hold on, don't just go pulling any frame that feels heavy. The big rule for a high-quality, stable honey harvest is to only take frames where at least 50% of the honey cells are sealed with a wax cap. And honestly, the more capped, the better. You can think of that wax cap as the bee's official seal of approval. It's their way of saying, this honey is ready, it's ripe. It means they've done the incredible work of fanning it with their wings, getting that moisture content down below about 18%. And that's absolutely crucial because that's what stops it from fermenting and makes sure your honey lasts. By learning to read all of these signs, you're not just a keeper anymore. You're a partner. You're working in sync with your colony's natural rhythms. The bees have finished their massive, season-long job, so the only question left is, are you ready to start yours?